Sandals, so stay tuned for that. But this next shoe, I feel like, is a really important trend that we're seeing in shoes. It kind of looks like this global expedition, tribal influence.
Definitely tribal influence. And you know, we mentioned in the last shoe, ghillie tie is still very fashionable, very important. So we'll continue with the ghillie tie. But instead of, once you make that adjustment once, you don't have to do it every time. That's why we do a back zip. So it's easy on, a great fit.
Lazy girl's guide to getting dressed.
When you get it how you want it. And the other thing that's great is there's just a little heel. Instead of doing a little wedge, again, a nice little stable heel. And you know what I like that the design team did here is to give it a little bit more of an updated look. A lot of times when you do black, it's going to be on a black heel, or navy will be on a black heel. I really love that natural.
I do too. It's very refreshing, which sounds weird when you talk about shoes, but it's like a little more inviting. And it's certainly, I think, in darker color hues, doesn't cut you off on the leg like some colors do.
Absolutely.
So I think that's really nice, because especially when you talk about the color black in accessories, like so many of us only have that. You're like, how do I get something that's the new black? This would be that option.
You know, laser cuts also a big trend. You mentioned the tribal, but that is something that's a big trend at retail right now that is very fashion forward. The other thing I like that we did, and you can really see it on these naturals and the denim, is the burnishing that they do on the upper. They give it a nice little contrast, gives it a little bit highs and lows tones, and you can even see it on the sock, where they did it on the sock as well, just to give it a little bit of fashion. When you see it on your foot, it's already got the little burnished details. So
now the marine blue, is it darker than our denim, or is it?
It's almost the same tone. It's just because one's a suede. The suede looks a little brighter. The Nubuck's brighter, but the leather, it is really kind of going after that same color. The leather just takes it a little bit darker, especially when you burnish it.
Obsessed. Just saying.
Navy, gotta have the navy.
Yeah, gotta have it. And then here's your sand, finally. And I was telling Tim earlier in the show, it's so nice to see a shoe like this, because especially with the laser cuts, you tend to see like the stiletto heel or like a very high wedge that has no flexibility whatsoever. And sometimes with those wooden stacked heels, when it comes to tribal, you feel like you're actually like walking on a smaller footbed than your actual foot is.
Exactly. Yeah, you get the big black heel on it. This is a little bit more substantial. And again, that same rubber bottom, so it's going to be slip resistant again.
Oh,
very comfortable. Again, very flexible, done on the rubber outsole. So again, that whole trend of tribal with function.
Yes.
Being comfortable.
Absolutely. And again, you talked about the burnishing, like on the leathers itself, that give it this just it's funny, you look at this shoe and it shines.
It does.
And it's leather.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just the finishing process they do, where they actually put a cream. They'll first start with a little bit darker polish to give it the highs and lows you see. And you also see some of the burn from the laser. So they're actually using real lasers when they're cutting this.
Oh, that is so
cool. So when they do that,
cool.
they put a little distress on it, and then they put a shoe cream on it, just a basic cream to give it that shine.
That is impeccable. For the price that you were getting tonight, 5 easy payments of $19. Like, this is a fully crafted, like, beautiful shoe that, again, I think in the world of where you're making smarter investments, you're reserving few of your purchases for more special pieces. You've got the burnishing, you've got the beautiful leather treatments, you've got a gorgeous ghillie tie lace, which again kind of connects all of those pieces for this beautiful tribal look. And this is one that I feel like, again, like if you're a classic dresser, this really makes the pieces that you've invested in stand out. But then, you know, if you tend to be a little boho, like that blends in as well.
It looks great, exactly. And then again, the great thing about it is the back zip, so you don't have to keep adjusting the lace. Well, you do it once and you're done. You just zip on and off.
Especially with that sand color. I mean, talk about like legs for days. Like, I know we have models over there that are just naturally tall, but like that's one, again, where you're not committing to a heel to elongate your legs, which is lovely. Because I will say, especially in the summer right now, where you're wearing your shorts and you're wearing your skirts and your dresses, if it's going to be all day, like, I don't want to commit to a heel, but I sure as heck don't want to feel like I'm, you know, lower to the ground because I chose to go with something a little bit lighter. This is only about 1.5 inches off the ground.
About 1.5 inches, absolutely.
So,
and again, it's a real, we do the natural stack, and it's a real leather wrap on the heel. So a lot of times you'll see people that'll do like a fake wrap, or they'll do it in the rubber, just put some lines. But this is, again, a little bit more workmanship, where they're doing a leather wrap on the heel, and they do it in layers to give it that stacked look. All
right, well, here is your black. Here is that marine blue. Oh my God. gosh, look how exciting. And then we have your sand as well, which, I mean, again, that neutral colored shoe is absolutely exquisite. Ships to your door for free. And if you'd like to place an order tonight, remember Comfortiva, about two and a half years old. You know, you can certainly get them here at QVC or elsewhere, but we have Easy Pay, which allows you, when you order with the major credit card, to get a pair of shoes home for $19 over 5 months, which I know I love that and take advantage of it often. So the number to dial is 1-800-500-7590. We continue on with, you know, it's funny. I feel like I used to say that, like, the It Summer sandal that, like, I feel like you come to know and expect used to be canvas related, but now I'm like, it's all about the cork.
It's all about the cork. Cork is so popular right now. And again, a molded footbed. And you know what? When people do cork footbeds, a lot of times they're comfortable, but they don't have a pillow top. So we've actually figured out how to incorporate the pillow top into the cork footbed.
I'm going to say something, and I feel bad for saying this. Is this like some kind of more different, like, pillow top because it's in combination with... I have no words. It's so like, it's a little too good to be true comfortable.
Well, you know what it is? It's our normal pillow top, but what we do when we do cork, we take EVA, which is the material that usually running shoes are made out of. So we'll mix that with the cork and mold it together. So you've got the lightweight comfort of an athletic shoe, adding pillow top to it, with a great, you know, a great little heel height. Again, it looks a little bit higher, 2 inches, but you get that 1 inch in the front.
I literally feel like when I'm pressing down in this footbed is hugging my fingers, which I can only imagine how your feet feel. Like, this is one of those shoes that I always say, like, if when you put this on, your eyes close and you start to smile, like, this is the time that you want to take that challenge, because we've got some great colors. Perfect summer sandal. And I mean, this is the kind of sandal truly that never gets put back in your closet.
No, never.
It's just always by the door, ready to go.
And the snake print is great. It's such a great trend material. And I like the